My name is Allen Demling. Obviously, I'm running for Austin City Council Place 1 against Lee Leffingwell and Jason Meeker. And the reason I decided to run for City Council is because I think everybody knows that our city is growing very rapidly, but there are areas where we are not keeping up with that growth, such as our traffic infrastructure, how we move people around, how people choose to get to and from shopping and their work and where they choose to play. Also issues such as energy conservation, water conservation, and our waste disposal. I think we need to take a much longer term approach because our population is doubling very rapidly. And we need to have somebody on the city council that's going to take a long-term approach and try to find long-term solutions instead of just slapping Band-Aid solutions on them. To invest in wind power, solar power, geothermal power, and all these renewable resources. One, because they are renewable and we don't have to keep spending money. It pays. It's like an investment. It pays us back in the long term. And two, we are getting closer to a recession, and the best way to get through a recession, or at least bounce back after a recession, is to invest in emerging technologies. And right now, the emerging technologies are kind of the green energy technologies. So we'll be better positioned within the country if we invest in those technologies right now. I am against increasing our ownership in a new power plant. I'm actually for decreasing our ownership in the current one by using more renewable energy sources. I think there's a lot of reasons for that. First of all, nuclear energy is very, very expensive, especially if we're going to build a new nuclear plant. The costs of that are unknown. It's been shown in historical instances that we generally underestimate how much it's going to cost for a nuclear plant, and we also underestimate how much the energy is going to cost for the people, nuclear energy. And then on top of that, we still don't know what to do with the nuclear waste. So it's kind of, for me, it's an economic and it's an environmental concern. I'm not sure we can really reconcile the fact that we own a coal plant while we are still trying to position ourselves as one of the greenest cities in the country. But I think the decision was probably made a while ago before global warming kind of became one of the major issues around the country. In my opinion, the best solution would be to decommission it so that it's no longer contributing to global warming, to air pollution, to water pollution, and things like that. I'm not sure economically that we can afford to do that right now. So I would say would probably propose selling it and investing the money that we could get from that in renewable energy. We should allow or provide more incentives for people to install solar on their personal residential properties and for businesses to install them on their commercial properties. I think it's important that we do everything we possibly can, and that includes solar, wind power, and geothermal, and solar thermal, and other emerging technologies that haven't really been tested. We need to invest in them as well. I really like the way that Austin has its energy. Austin Energy is kind of municipally owned entity because it allows them to not necessarily always be thinking about the bottom line, how we're increasing our profits, and I think we're one of the leaders in terms of giving people incentives to reduce their energy use, whereas a lot of energy companies are only doing that as kind of a publicity stunt. Their focus is doing what's best for Austin, not what's just best for the energy company's profits. I am against toll roads. I'm very strongly in support of mass transit and also alternative means of transportation. My passion is cycling, so I think we can become the #1 bike-friendly city in the country. And finally, making sure that we kind of build our city in the means so that people can work and live and play all in the same area and don't have to drive halfway across the city to get to work. Having activity centers such as downtown, Mueller Airport, UT, and things like that where people can stay relatively close during a majority of their time.